welcome to launch day. Yes, launch day, you say? We had launch day earlier. Well, it's part two. You've got to love a launch day and you've got to love a Sheena launch day. You guys have been busy and absolutely loving this collection. I'm going to let you into a secret. When I see it earlier, I actually said to Sheena, I think this is my favourite of your collection so far. Ben said apparently the same thing. Yes, because it is absolutely beautiful. It's right up my street. There is a massive collection here with stamps and dies and stencils. The stencils are insanely good. I just absolutely love them. I'd love to take credit for this collection, but of course I'm not going to do that because the lady herself, who has all these thoughts running through her head and doesn't know what to do with them. So what does she do? She channels them all into this amazing collection. And she thrives on it, and she is so talented. I'm so happy to be working with her for the next hour. It's just going to be amazing. But here she is, the lady's here. Sheena, they're loving this collection.
Oh, you know what? Thank you so much. It's such a relief because you just hope, you know, there's a lot of planning and this, you know, work goes into these collections, and until you see them, you just hope that you're going to like them and get them. And so thanks everybody who's gone for them and really appreciate it. And you know, all the thoughts that are in my head, thing is, these are the only thoughts that are in my head. There's nothing else. That's it.
Well, Sheena, you might be a bit dangerous with other thoughts.
Would be dangerous. Would be dangerous.
We love it. Right, let's get started with the show because we do have a showstopper for you, which is amazing because the value in this showstopper is incredible. Now, for £125 or $150, or if you look at the platinum price, £100 or $120, you're getting all of this, but only for an extra £5 or $10. You're also getting your 24 aqua pencils and your multi-purpose cardstock as well. You're getting 60 sheets in there, so that is incredible value. You're actually getting all the stamps, all the dies, and those incredible stencils, which we're going to be looking in more depth with those. I've got just a few samples which I'm going to show you before we get over to Sheena, because she has got some more samples over there which are incredible. Obviously an amazing design team, but when you've got dies and stamps like this, you're going to be very creative with them. I'm not even sure which one is my favourite because I change my mind all the time. Love the squirrel one, love the owl one. I think at the moment this is my favourite, Sheena. I really do love the field mouse. I think it's absolutely beautiful. But I know a lot of people are loving this little guy. Yes, they are. This is Brian the snail. I mean, he doesn't need another name, does he? Even though he wears pink flowers on his back.
Flamboyant. He's flamboyant, Brian.
Oh, he's a flamboyant Brian.
You don't care.
I love that. So great price today, and you are getting, these are the pencils you're getting, which are your portrait collection. So you're getting all of those, 24 artist quality. Are you going to be using these in your demo at all?
I am. You know what the thing is, Debbie, you think portrait collection, you just think it's going to be just a range of skin tones, you know?
Yep.
Darker skin tone, lighter skin tones. It's not. You've got all your primaries represented in there. You've got so it's a good range of colours. So that's what I've been using to colour in the previous show, the cards, and that's what we'll be using to colour in Brian in this show. Amazing.
Oh, we're going to do Brian in this show. I think everybody wanted it, Ben especially, Nicola especially. You're getting your cardstock in that as well. The value of this is incredible because you're only paying £5 or $5 more when you go for, sorry, £5 or $10 more if you go for the showstopper. So it really is good value. The pencils in themselves are worth $24.99 or $29.99. So that is incredible value. A few hellos and then we will get over to Sheena straight away. Lots of you coming in this evening. We've got Susie and Rachel in. We've got, oh, hang on, this all flicked back up. Sherry's in saying hello again. We've got Mary Beth in saying hi again from Minnesota. Kendall's in. Carol Carol is in saying hi from Wisconsin. Shadia's in, or Shadia's in. I've called you Shadia now, Shadia. That's Ben. And she's saying hi, Debbie and Sheena. I missed the first show. Wow, you're in with a good one now then, because you will get to catch it, and you could go and watch up as well, which is good. And we do repeat the shows on 24/7, so you'll find that on YouTube. Anne is in saying the mouse and the bunny are my favourites. Yeah, they're cute, aren't they? And then we've got Sherry in saying these Sheena hours are the best. Yes, we do love a Sheena hour. And Susie the Nag, where are your glasses? They're next. No, they're not. I thought I brought them in, Susie. I honestly thought they were there. They're not there. They're not there. Yeah, Susie is a nag. She nags me about my glasses. She's right to nag me about my glasses. Anyway, no nags in these portraits. So we're going to go over to Sheena and get started with these. Sheena, what are you going to show us?
Would you like to see the boards and everything you're getting, Debbie?
I would love to see the boards.
So you can see exactly what you're going to be investing in, because there's loads in this collection, as Debbie said. So they're all based around your little garden visitors. But I have to say, Sherry Miller, I haven't got your bear on here. Don't see many of those around the Evesham area, just saying. And I'm happy to say that is the truth. Yeah, so we've got this little field mouse here. Now, the wording is, right, I'm going to apologise now for it. So we've got things like, have a nice day. See what I did there, Debbie?
I see what you did, yes.
So, yeah, it's definitely, if you're a bit tongue-in-cheek and if you like a bit of a laugh with your wording, we've got the squirrel here, and he says things like, you're my kind of nuts. There you go. So there we've got the squirrel. We've got the fox. Again, now what's he got? He's born to be wild and wild thing. Yeah, I'm singing both songs in my head now at the same time, but only in my head, you're safe. Brian. Look at that.
And Brian, very cute.
I think Brian's taken it off the charts here.
I've got a bit of a soft spot for us now. Ever since my daughter, when she was little, come in from the garden and had one crawling up her belly. Oh. She was a bit like that. She used to come in and pull worms apart and all sorts of things. But and she used to love it because they used to leave a silvery trowel and it used to go all the way up her belly. Yeah, she used to love it.
I love Brian, but more at a distance. But you know what? I bet there was good slimes ahead for her.
I love that. That is brilliant.
Same time next week, guys. And then we've got the owl, which is, you're owlsome.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot of thinking about those wording, but you know what? They're fun.
Well, you're a hoot anyway.
You are a hoot, thank you. Oh, but you know what? Be like Debbie, be sensational.
That's nice.
You are. And then we've got the little rabbit as the last one. Now, all these little guys, they're kind of part of the garden. The idea was make the flowers part of these little guys, because often, your garden visitors don't even know they're there, unless it's like our Mission Impossible squirrel that's there often.
Yes.
Willow, sets her barking.
Oh, okay.
Fun. Yeah, but it's really cool. And what you also get is the this little die here, which now this die, you're going to use that with any of your other collections, aren't you? You know, when you've got worker dies, Debbie, you just like don't even care to keep that in the collection. Just put it in the dies that you keep bringing out, because it's just a basic, twisted hoop die there that'll frame anything. You've got your aperture it's going to cut out for you as well, and then you've got the little floral embellishments, and you can put them anywhere. They can be corners, they can be wherever you want them to be.
I love it. I love it.
What I would say is, when you're cutting out your other guys, on the bits of paper, when you run your die cut, your main stamp, your image through, maybe Brian or squirrel or whatever, make sure you stamp and cut these as well at the same time, because then you're just going to collect them, and then you've got lots of them to just cluster and use whenever, rather than making a pass through your machine just for them.
I think that's going to be my new favourite die. I think
which one, the circle?
Yeah,
it's really useful.
Very
that
good,
one.
very good.
As are the stencils. You know what? We were just talking to Debbie and Craig and I, weren't we? About we love stencils because you've got quick background. When they're stencils that are usable, like these guys, the idea is the layer. So you could start off with the swirls and do some cool swirly backgrounds. Then you go over the top with the ethereal orbs or bubbles, and you've got more interest. So all of these stencils, 8x8. Thick, good quality mylar. Beautiful. You can emboss with them as well, with your embossing mat in your die cutting machines. So you've got 3 stencils in it's big selection. loads to play with, and especially cool when you get the card and that collection of pencils as well.
Yeah,
You go for the whole deal.
Yeah, it is absolutely beautiful, and if you go for all of that today, you get everything in that bundle. But look at that Showstopper, because if you're going for the garden visitors and in the Showstopper, you're going to get your pencils and you're going to get your cardstock, which is going to be amazing. If your platinum price is £100 or $120, which you're absolutely going to love. Just a few more quick hellos, and then we will get to Sheena, because obviously we will be finishing at 7. We've got Pat in. We've got Polly in, they're all saying hello. We've got Tracy in, and she's saying, good evening, ladies. Hello, everyone. A fabulous collection, Sheena. Yeah, absolutely. And Lynn is saying, evening to Debbie, Sheena, the CTV community team, and all of the CTV team from Newcastle. Yeah, just up the road. So, in fact, that's where you're from, isn't it, Newcastle, Sheena?
Sorry?
You're from Newcastle, aren't you?
I am, Pet,
Yes.
Indeed, I am. That 100% Geordie, why I?
Well, why I, man? What
Why
you got to
I,
show
man?
us?
Absolutely, you made a good game of it.
I've just heard a different voice in my head. Oh, he said, Debbie Vision, Sheena Vision, Debbie Vision. Can you guess what's happening, guys?
Anything could happen in the next half hour.
Mosby is in charge. We're going to throw, Ben, we're going to throw to Sheena now.
Right, Ben. Right, be your vision now. Right, okay, so you know what, it's we're gonna go through this. We're going to give you lots of instruction, but we're also going to have a bit of a laugh, because that's what we do, isn't it? So what we've got is we've got Brian here. Now, I didn't even mention yet that these are, not only have you got the detail in there, the thing is, you've got to use the right material to be able to capture the level of detail that I draw, because if we were using just acrylic, sometimes acrylic won't transfer that to a stamp. We can't get that level of line work and detail. If you look at all the markings in Brian, all the shading on the flowers and things, that you need a good quality material to make your stamps out of. So you've got the best quality. You've got photopolymer.
And I do think, Sheena, that is something that you've become very good at, is putting that line into everything.
You know what, Debbie, thank you. It's a you've got to know, and you know what, I've said it before, you have to have trod the boards as a stamper to know how much detail to draw, because if you're drawing, like back in the day, I used to do pen and ink drawings, you know, when I was in a college or a school or whatever. I used to like to do pen and ink, and you would do lots of shading, cross-hatching, hatching with the pen, but for a stamp it would be too much. So what you have to do is draw for stamps where you've got that suggestion of detail of this is going to be darker.
That's amazing.
It doesn't fill everything in. So if you look under Brian here, you've got, can you see the lines I've drawn? Because that's creating shadow underneath these little ripply bits. Yeah? So that's telling you there you're going to colour that in a bit darker. You've got in the centre of the flower there. And I've got to say, normally when you do a clean first stamp with a stamp, sometimes the image isn't great because it's too new.
Of course.
That's straight away first use of that stamp on a rocker block.
That's amazing.
So that's how cleanly they ink. And I should mention the ink I used was the Finesse. And I love that. That's not cryptic. It says waterproof.
I know.
I've cracked the code already. That's it. And that's what you're looking for. So that's
There's
Brian
no
ready.
fooling you, Sheena.
No fooling. Nothing gets past me. Yeah. Yeah, we all know that. That's not true. With what I said earlier, wasn't it? Yeah. Seriously. But anywho, so shall we cut Brian out before we colour him in?
Yes.
Because in here you get your, if I can get it out of the package, wait a minute.
I was actually forgetting you get the dies with these.
I was doing so well until I couldn't get it out of the package. Talk amongst
they're
yourselves.
stuck. They stick to the inside, don't they?
They do, yeah. Sometimes the little, the tape bit doesn't want to play. There you go, stuck to the thing. But that's all right, that don't matter. We can take that off there, like that. Because most often than not, you're going to put them in your own storage, whatever you use, anyway, magnetic sheets, folders, whatever. So you also get the die, which is going to line up perfectly on there around Brian. Now, what you're going to do is just basically eyeball it, look around, have a little bit of a jiggle so that you make sure that you've got everything within that area. You might have to, like I say, do a little bit of jiggling it around.
Yeah.
And then get your low tack tape. You can anchor that down. And then we're going to play with something that's totally new to me, Debbie. Well, not new anymore because I've used it already today, but today is the first time.
Oh, I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah, we're going to use that
because we talked
Gemini
about
MIDI.
it. I know.
Yeah.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, I really love it because you know what? I'm one of these people that when I'm in the like full-on throw of like crafting inspiration, and I know I'm not alone, it's like the room can disappear, let alone anything else. Like, you know, the floor's covered, the table's covered, everything. And if I have to then invest time and go and look in a cupboard, sometimes I won't. If it's there on my desk and it's accessible, I'll use it. Definitely. And that's what I love about this. So with the MIDI, you don't even get a series of plates. You've got to like negotiate. You basically got the folder, and look how big it is. It'll accommodate even that circle die will go in there. So you can see that even fits within that. So all of these dies that are in here are going to fit in that. And then let me bring this cute little bundle of crafty wonderfulness here, the MIDI. It's tiny, isn't it?
But I know, it's a great little
machine. It's like a TARDIS.
Yes.
It's a little form factor, but it's got a really good, wide, usable opening.
Yes.
That very rarely do you need to go bigger, which is fabulous.
And I take it you've heard Ben saying for this machine?
Sorry?
I take it you've heard Ben saying for this machine?
Which was?
It's simplicity
without electricity. Exactly.
To create, to enhance your creativity.
Oh, what? He likes his little catchphrases, doesn't he? He likes his catchphrases.
You know, I was just making something up.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. So simplicity without the electricity. I like that.
To enhance your creativity.
So basically, that's it. And you know what? It's because it's such a small form factor. I can leave that out on my desk. It's not going to take up much real estate.
Yep.
So that little guy will stay out there. And the fact that unless I don't have to move up to my bigger one unless I'm doing power cutting. You know,
it's also good, Sheena. Do you know you were saying? You know, sorry, interrupting. Do you know you were saying about your little flowers around that the sort of circle?
Yeah.
You could sit with that on a lap tray and just watching a telly, running them through.
But what I would have done, Debbie, is I would have taken my little flower and I would have stamped here, and I would have stamped here, and I would have stamped here.
Right.
Put my dies over it and then run it through. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's all through in one pass. You may as well.
Amazing.
Makes sense, doesn't it? Working smarter, not harder. So then we've got Brian and all his wonderfulness there, ready to rock and roll. This will go back over there for later. And now, shall we talk about the pencils?
Yes.
Let me bring these in, because I got to say, when I first saw the set and you think of the portrait set, you kind of do think of skin tones and that's it, it's for faces. But no, you've got some amazing colours in here. You've got hot pinks, you've got red, you've got the greens, you've got a really nice across the board selection of colours. So don't think it's just a series of browns and flesh tones. It's not, it's a really great set. So here's the other thing. So these are, we were talking earlier about there's two main types of colouring product you can get. There's a dye-based colouring product and there's a pigment-based colouring product. And it doesn't matter who they are, they're your options. Yep. What company it is, how old it is, whatever, you've only got the choice. You've got pigment and dye. And dye is fabulous. It's translucent, it's vibrant, and it's got no grain to it. It's water soluble, so there's no texture to it at all, but it's not light fast, so it's great for card making but not to go on a wall. So if you want to do something with these or anything that you've got in your craft kit and put it in a frame and gift it, which why wouldn't you, because they're all good sizes, use pigment based colouring products, because those ones don't fade like dye based products, and that's what you're going to get with your pencil straight away. The next thing you want from a good colouring pencil is you want a thick core for a start, because that's what you're paying for, the bit in the middle. You want a lot of that. You want a wood that doesn't chip and splinter when you sharpen it, because when you sharpen an inferior quality wood, it'll chip and it'll chew into your pencil core and it'll break, and you'll have seen that before. So that's what you don't want. The next thing you don't want is a hard solid core, because when you transfer that colour to some card, it'll be etching into the card and you can't lose the line when you go to add your water. What you do want is it to be packed with pigment, so there's little or no filler in there, so that what you're getting is the colour. with nothing to pad it out.
Yes.
And that's what you're getting. So hopefully that gives you an
Amazing.
idea of what the pencils are all about. Now, what I've been doing previously is I have been picking out the colours I'm going to use before I start. And if definitely make a colour chart if you can as well. Because if you look, this here is just coloured like, you know, paint. It's not the exact colour you're going to get. What you're going to get is the colour that when you scribble it onto the card you're going to colour with and add water, that's the true colour you're going to be getting. And let me show you what that looks like when you add just that little bit of water. When you look at it like that, it's like, oh, see all the grains in the card. But you know, that was done really quickly. And all I'm doing is just putting a wash of water on there. And with a good watercolour pencil, you get lots of colour, but you won't see the lines of the pencil. That's disappeared. And it looks like you've just used a watercolour paint. And that's exactly what you want.
Do you have a preference, Sheena, for pencils, watercolour pencils or pens? Or do you just like both?
I like both. Yeah. I really love both, Debbie. And you can mix and match them. If you're going to use both, I would put the, you know, you can use them with the alcohol pens as well. So put the alcohol ink down and then put your watercolour on top. I use them with the ink pads as well. We'll probably do that with Brian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we'll do a bit of that as well. The other thing I wanted to mention about this set being a really good universal set, I just had a little scribble with it. Because basically what you've got is you've got yellow, yeah? So you've got your yellow, yeah, there, like that. You've got your magenta, like that, which is kind of like, it's sort of magenta-ish, but it's close enough. And then you've got your blue, which is your cyan, right? Now, all these colours, when you mix them together, are going to give you your secondary colours, okay? So if we put that there, put a bit of that in there, like that. Doesn't have to be, you know, perfectly, you know, one on top of just next to each other is good enough. We'll pop that there. All right, and then we'll pop that there. So now what you can do, so remember all these mix because they are just watercolours, Debbie, right? Yep. So if we mix these together, we're going to get an orangey tone instead of that yellow. See how it's gone more orangey? If you wanted a bit more orangey, you can pop a bit more pink. I'm not going to put that into the wet area, but if you just put that next to it and pop it in, you get more of an orange. Oh, if you mix these two together, you're going to get a purpley tone. And if you mix these two together, you're going to get your green. So can you see how you've got all those other colours you're going to create from just that one core, three of the colours that are in this set. So it's a really, really good set to play with. All right? So, right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick out the colours that we're going to use for Brian. We definitely want that yellow. We definitely want, let's see, we're going to do little pink flowers. Let's bring that pink back. I'm going to use the grey, this iron grey. We might use a bit of this one. It looks black, but it's not. It's black umber. It's very dark brown. We're going to use that. And we're going to use some of this one here, this aubergine that you just see me use. So let's do some of this, the flowers to start with. Daisies are really fun because if you look at the flower, I've used the line work to represent the veins in the petals, but also concentrate the veins towards the base of the flower. So if you look, there's more of those lines down here than there is in the middle of the petal. Oh, yeah. That's your clue, Debbie, to put some of your shade colour, because if these are white flowers, you don't colour in white. White's going to be the card. What you colour in is the shadow. Yeah? Oh, good tip. So you can put a little bit on some of these petals that are behind there. Not much, just a little bit. So you've got the ones in front and then the ones just behind. Can you see? Just a little bit of colour on those ones behind. And we're going to just do that all the way around these ones around the centre, like this.
So where did you get the inspiration from to do these designs?
Well, I love nature. And I love little, you know, the flowers. So I just thought it would be a nice just combination. Basically, Brian inspiration was a snail, a real snail we met. Maria and I met Brian on my travels. He was a real rock and roll living snail.
Where did you meet Brian?
We met Brian in Beamish, up north maybe a few years back. He's like a proper Geordie snail.
Brian from Beamish.
Yeah, he's Brian the Geordie snail.
I love that, Brian from Beamish. Anyone else know a Brian from Beamish?
Yeah.
He might have been brought in with the seagulls.
So he actually went like, yeah man, good slime's ahead, pet.
Oh dear, that's funny.
But you know, it could be anywhere, and it's just out and about. And you know what? It's like, I like combining, you know, what you think you're going to get with a little bit of difference. So when you've got two things you like to look at and combine them together, I think it's always a winner chicken dinner, don't you?
Absolutely.
So I'm putting some yellow in the centre of these like this. Now at the minute, I'm just putting the base colour down, and I'm not worried. I'm just laying that colour down because we can layer this up. We can intensify the colour by going back over. So some yellow down there, might leave a little bit of white in the middle. And then I'm going to take some of this more reddish brown.
I mean, that looks fabulous like that.
It's coming together, isn't it? By putting that little bit of brown at the base of this centre, this daisy centre, what it's going to do, Debbie, it's going to make them look more kind of convex, not concave. Concave goes in, doesn't it? Yes. Convex. It's going to make them stick out. It's going to make them domed.
Like some belly buttons.
Like, yes, like an outie, not an innie. Not an innie. So now what I can do is I can take my little bit of water there, and I can just add a little bit, the tiniest amount of water, and just use little circular movements like that, and see how that colours just pop. It just lights up. It's as if it's like got its own light source now. All those the pigment that's in that pencil is just this. It's kind of bursting. Yeah, we've added the water and it's released it. Yeah. So now we've got that lovely vibrant colour, but see how quick it is as well. And all we're going to do is just add that little bit of water at the base of these daisies. So it looks like there's a lot of colouring in, but if you are colouring them as a white daisy, so I've got hiccups now, what am I like? You basically, it's really quick. Yeah.
Yeah, so quick. Yeah, I know when we brought out the Daisy collection, it was just really simple to get them done because, like you say, you just put the shading into them.
Yeah, absolutely. And they just colour themselves because what you're doing, like I say, is you're just colouring in the suggestion of the shadow on the flower. And, you know, blue, a pale blue, a bluey grey also works, any of those kind of colours. And then just continuing around like that.
I think you're right about the palette of these pencils. They're a really good shade, aren't they?
Aren't they? Lovely. You really wouldn't, because there are other collections in the watercolour pencils that you think, well, of course, like the essentials and, you know, things like that, and the florals and things. You're gonna get lots of colours in that, but you're actually doing this set too. So, you know, don't you get them all. So we've got that there. We'll do some leaves. There's great selection of leaf colours here as well. This is quite a yellowy leaf, so I'm just going to put a little bit on here, just light pressure, scribbling over these little leaves around these little guys like this. So I'm lighter pressure and not as much concentrated colour there, because I'm going to go over with a little bit of the other green. I want to shade it with that. And I could either do that afterwards, or I could go in with this green now and just put a little darker bit here and there. And I'm not being super careful. I'm just putting a little bit because I can drag that out with my brush. I haven't even sharpened that point. I've turned it round so that it is an idea to sharpen them every now and again. And the best way to sharpen them is to hold your pencil straight and turn the sharpener.
Yes.
And then it's got less chance of breaking the core of your pencil. And
it really works, doesn't it? It's a proper good tip, that one.
Yeah, it's a really good one, absolutely. Because you want them to last, and definitely keep them in that tin. Don't drop them. The worst thing you can do to any pencil is to drop them. So don't drop them. Put them back in the tin. They'll be nice and snug in there because it's got their little places for them, keeps them protected. And definitely. And also, you know, if you buy this, or if you get this collection, you've got these pencils and you run out of a colour, you don't worry, if you go another pencil, you can buy that, they sell in singles. You can replace it with that colour. Just find a similar colour.
Oh,
you don't have to buy a whole
yeah.
other set because all of them play nice together.
Yes.
So this is a great value starter set, but it doesn't mean that you can't basically, add to it as well.
Yeah,
with other ones.
absolutely amazing. Yeah,
So we've got that
good.
virtually done there, Debbie, but we're going to add a bit more impact into that. Should we continue with Brian?
Yes, definitely. So let's just stop there for a little while,
Yep.
Sheena, and we're just going to let you check out your baskets because they are bulging. We've literally got about 70 left of this collection, so from what we had earlier. So you're absolutely loving it. So we're going to let you check out your baskets, and while you do that, have a look at this.
Hi, I'm Becky. I'm the soft craft expert for Crafter's Companion. I've always crafted, I think because my parents worked at Shepperton Studios. I grew up at Shepperton. They were always working, so my holidays and my weekends and my evenings were spent at the studios, and I just sort of sit around with the other artists, and they'd give me a bit of clay to play with or some fabric. So I was always making things, and there were a couple of children around the same sort of age, and we just used to make clothes for our Cindy dolls. I'm flighty with my crafts. I want to try everything, so I go all out and I decide tomorrow I'm going to be doing candle making, and I buy all the stuff and I make candles, and then I lose interest and I move on to the next thing. I want to be able to have a little go at all sorts of crafts, and I've always been like that ever since I was a small child, so I think I can turn my hand and give anything a go. My craft inspiration, I think a lot of that comes from the internet, looking online, being able to watch sort of artists producing bits and pieces, as well as sort of just general crafters. But a lot of my inspiration came from sort of my mum and my mum's friends, which were all sort of great designers and people that created all sorts of different things. The Crafters TV audience have been so kind to me. So when I first started, and I've not been here a huge amount of time, and I've done a little bit of presenting, I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people, and we know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made and when they've been inspired by the shows. I think that's great. My biggest achievement, when I put it on social media, I said that I was more proud of this than I was when I had my children. It was when I won a Demo of the Week. I was just absolutely gobsmacked that I'd won Demo of the Week. I don't often win Demo of the Day, so to win Demo of the Week, I was really, really super excited. Oh God, I can't give you the gossip because I promised that I wouldn't give any of the gossip away, but it is great. Lots of us stay overnight in a house here, which is brilliant because we all get to know each other on a real personal kind of level rather than just colleagues. So it's a really great atmosphere, and there's so much to learn from all of these people that I work with. So I feel really quite blessed to be part of this. It is a happy family, I have to be honest.
Welcome back to Crafters TV. We're in the middle of our second launch. We had a launch earlier and we've got now our second part to the launch. Lots of you in with us this evening. We've had Ben going over onto the directional skills with the cameras, and Phil Watson has said Ben's the boss. We're not going to tell him. He's gone now. He's gone out of our ears. We've got Jamie back. He's still in the room, but he loves that, Phil. So, yeah, Ben's the boss. Boss Ben. We've got Anne saying that Ben's doing a great job. We've got Andrew saying, go, Ben. Yes, he was doing very, very well. And loving it. He was loving it. So I think he's going to try his hand at that a bit more. He says to tell you he's retiring. Ooh, I think you might have a bit of a backlash there, Ben. Joy is saying, I'm new here. Yay, we've got a newbie. Joy is new. So she's saying, I'm new here. These are just stunning. I'm just getting into card and box making, so I'm still learning. With Joy, it's really lovely to have you with us. We love a newbie, so that's amazing. Angela is saying, hi everyone. I love, love, love Sheena's new collection. I'm with you, Angela. Kathy is saying, hi from Ontario. I'm still trying to get used to the new times. I just got an email saying my order from this morning has already shipped. Wow, that's
Wow.
amazing. So pleased about that. And please don't worry about our new times, because we're 24/7 on YouTube, and you can go back and watch them. And we are live at 1 and 5 every day. Sometimes there's a few different changes, like today, because of the Love Your Crafts with Sarah this morning. But you can go back and watch them all. Kathy is saying, you've knocked it out of the park again, Sheena. It's a beautiful collection. And Pat is saying, I love my MIDI too. I use it more than I do my Gemini 2. Good investment if you don't have one. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And Sarah's saying good afternoon to us all. And she's saying these stamps are just so gorgeous and so different. And Sheena, I think that's it. With these stamps, they are very different to anything we've seen before. Those florals in them, the snail carrying it on its shell. They just look amazing, don't they?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and you know what? And that's the fun of it. You know, when you've been doing it for a while, you like to keep mixing it up, because, you know, it's things I want to play with too. Because when you do the drawing, they're just drawings. When you get the stuff back, that's when you play.
Yes,
That's a good bit.
absolutely. Yes,
Sure.
absolutely. Well, you can get all of that today for platinum price, £100 or $120. Now, that's our Showstopper. With the Showstopper, you are getting those amazing pencils that our Sheena's using. 24 of our portrait collection artist quality pencils, and you're getting our 60 sheets of our multi-purpose cardstock as well. You're only paying an additional £5 or $10 with those two items, so it's absolutely amazing steal on those. So make sure you go for your Showstopper, because that's worth every single penny. Right, we're going to head back to Sheena and continue with our amazing snail.
Oh, right then. So I think it's time we started colouring in Brian himself. So I've got a couple of colours here, and actually they're not colours. Well, iron grey and black umber, because we're going to do Brian quite neutral, and I'm going to start with the grey colour. Now, the iron grey is still quite dark. So what I'm going to do is I'm just concentrating. What I've done is, can you see how far back I'm holding the pencil now?
Yeah.
And I'm using the kind of the side of the pencil, and you can get more coverage more quickly by doing that, but I don't want it super dark. So hence, if you hold back on the pencil, you it doesn't put as much of the pigment down on the card. So it's a way of ensuring that you're going to cover it quicker, but not as dark. Excuse me. And I'm just going to go over the whole thing there with that colour. So that's just a neutral grey, and then I'm going over with this this dark brown colour, and I'm going and looking at, I've actually got cross hatching on this little bit even, so you can see where there's ripples, you know, where you can concentrate that darker colour so that it'll look like there's little folds in this little bit here. The bit that your daughter had climbing up her leg, Debbie, the clinging on bit, and you can put little bits, you know, and the little like texture of his you know, his skin there as well. So kind of the darker bits there, and at the minute it's looking a little bit, you know, messy, but we haven't put the water on it yet. And what I am definitely going to be using, I'm going to use one of the water reactive ink pads with this whole thing. Tell you what we'll do, let's put some green on that as well before we add the water. Let's put some of this other green on this foliage here. So we'll use cypress, and we'll put some of that. And
They've
just
got some
colour
cool
of this.
names, haven't they?
Sorry?
Got some cool names on these
Yeah, I love them,
pencils.
yeah. There was one of them, what was the green called? Shire green, and I read it as slime green earlier. I thought, what, they've even got, Brian's even got his own colour. I got all kinds of excited. I went, no, you just like, you know.
Is the snail the only one with his own name?
So far, I'm happy to accept any. Oh, didn't we have it? Did we have Bun for the bunny? Yeah,
Bun
absolutely. I think that was the only other one that we've got so far, yeah. So, you know, feel free to suggest. And then, so we've got that foliage going on there. And what I'm definitely going to do is underneath here, I'm going to do this darker, but I am going to bring the ink pad in to do that with, Debbie. So it doesn't look like there's much colour there at all, but let's like make this green pop for a little bit. So just a touch of water, and that's that filled in. So the colours are quite flat. I haven't gone big on shading, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the water reactive black ink pad to tone down a lot of these colours, because I keep saying that any water-based product plays nice with other water-based products. So let's do that. Because a lot of you, if you're stampers, you've got your water-based, your water-reactive ink pads, haven't you? So you might as well bring them into the mix as well. So we've got that there, and then we're going to start colouring this little guy in here. Like that. And then just continue. So these little ripply bits, can you see how now it should start kind of shading around the bottom?
Oh, yeah. Have snails got a colour? I mean, I don't know what their colours are, to be honest. Are
I
they
think they're
sort
just
of
kind of greyish, aren't
grey, brown?
they?
Yeah.
Grey kind of, yeah.
And I suppose there is no no reason that you couldn't colour in whatever colour you want.
Well, did you see the purple disco snail?
A disco snail?
Oh,
no,
I've got to show you that
did not
sample. We
see
haven't
a
even shown
disco
you a lot of the
snail.
samples yet. So, yeah, Julie did a fabulous purple snail. He's like
Oh.
ready for the, you know, a disco. He's down there like, you know.
Is he a psychedelic snail?
He is a psychedelic busting his move snails. He's really cool him. So we've got that there, but let me show you what you can do to tone this down and to give it more impact. If we bring a little bit of black of the any of the blacks, the jet black, noir black, either one will work. And then for the first thing I'm going to do is add a shadow underneath Brian, and this is the easiest. So can you see I've got some cross hatching down there? Well, actually it's not cross hatching, it's just hatching, just lines. So that's to remind you that this is where there's going to be shadow underneath him. So already it's got more impact, hasn't it? It looks like he's got more drama and more, he looks more 3D. Yeah. So we've got that there, and then you can, you can extend that out a little bit if you want to just drag that out a little bit more, like that.
I think Brian would be very dramatic.
Oh, I think so. He's a bit of a drama queen, as Brian. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that looks amazing. See, now I would be really frightened to use black.
Exactly, and that's the thing. When you dilute it, Debbie, so hardly any water on your brush, and just go with the direction of the veins in the petal, you will then, you're really just, emphasising the texture and the shadow. But you've got that lovely purple undercolour with your pencil. So it's a way of expanding your, your colour palette more by bringing in stuff that you've already got in your kit. So, if you think, wow, I want to try these pencils, but I don't want to buy every set, take advantage of this today, get them, and then do exactly as I'm doing. Use your ink pads to complement them, to enhance them, and give them that more drama. So all the bright colours can absolutely just be, taken down and made more neutral or impactful with the pop of, whatever. Of the ink pads you add to them. But it just looks so much better, doesn't it? That's what usually makes the difference between nice but then lots of drama and impact, is once you start adding the shadow to it.
The depth that that's creating is incredible.
Isn't it? It is. That's the difference, Debbie, and that's where you've got to be brave sometimes and, go for it. And it does make huge difference. It just looks so much better. And we can do that with the leaves. So these leaves are going to be tucked behind there. There's going to be some shadow there. This one's going to be a bit darker. But you see, it's still green because we're using the black diluted.
Right.
And we're just, so instead of worrying too much about loads of pencil colours, we've kept that quite basic. Use 2 colours max and 1 layer. But what we're doing now is just adding the shading via the ink pad, and now that's really, really popping.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And we can add a little bit to Brian himself now, to his body, and then that's Brian almost done, and we can work on a background for him.
Oh,
amazing!
amazing.
Cool, stenciled a background. So we'll pop that there. So look, I'm getting really, look at that. Look at me, I don't care. Whoa!
Oh wow!
What? I'm bothered.
Well, I'd be really worried at this stage.
But you know what? It's fine because it's given him now that contouring and again that impact. See how that now?
Yeah,
and then
incredible.
And of course, if you want to make him a bit lighter in places, you've got your white pen. But I'm going to leave him there. I think he's
love that.
Cool. And then we can we'll get the stencils in the mix, shall we? Have a quick clean up,
Oh,
Debbie?
yes, please. I would love that. Yeah, Sheena's just going to clean up and, yeah, let's get some stencils going. We were talking earlier about how much we love stencils. And what I love about these ones, Sheena, is the fact that you've put those, you've sort of amalgamated the two stencils that can go together in one stencil. And I think that's really clever. And they are absolutely beautiful. Now, if you want to go for this whole showstopper today that you can see on your screen there, it's £125 or £150. You are getting those amazing pencils that Sheena has been using. Are they £29.99 the pencils, or is it £24? £24.99. These are normally £24.99. What's our stamping card normally? Our stamping card is normally at $12.99 or $14.99. You're getting both of those with your showstopper for only an additional £5 or $10. That's absolutely incredible, especially even if you've already got these pencils. Like Sheena was saying about replacing the odd ones, you wouldn't need to. You could replace the whole ones for only an extra £5 or $10. So that's incredible in itself. Right, let's just have a look and see if anybody else has any questions. And then we'll get straight back to Sheena to see how we can use these stencils. Kendall is saying, Sheena, are you using watercolouring card?
You know what? I'm swapping between the two. I'm using both. It works. These work with both the watercolour card and the multi-purpose card. So whichever you prefer.
Love that.
Good. Yeah. And you're getting that multi-purpose in with a showstopper. So,
okay.
Yeah,
yes,
fabulous.
of course. Shadia's saying, I love how Sheena has bought the animals. She makes the best animals. I have a few of her collections from the past. Yeah, they are absolutely beautiful. Lynn is saying, can anyone tell me, is call-out all-purpose the glue to use gluing card over gilding flakes, or do I use tacky to attach the cardstock on top of the glitter cardstock? Yes, you definitely want to use tacky glue. You don't want to use a solvent-based glue if you're using anything shiny, because it will take the shine off it basically. So you want a water-based glue, which is the tacky glue. Shadia is saying, what brush is it that Sheena's using, and the number and size, please?
Well, I'm using the brushes, the Crafter's Companion ones that, what did they come out with just recently? They're with the, I want to say the new stencil. With the new stencil, I can't remember, but either those or the Royal and Langnickel. They're the Crafter's Companion ones. Have a look on the website for them. Or the Royal and Langnickel, that's what I normally use. So they're both great brushes, all good.
Fabulous.
And the one I've been using for colouring in is number 6 in either one.
Yes.
Works a treat.
Fabulous. Anne is also saying that she uses a clear sparkle, and that would look amazing underneath the snout for his slime. Yes, it would, because it is shimmery.
It was shimmery.
Yeah, it was shimmery up my daughter's belly, and yeah, snail slime. So you definitely need, just in case anybody is just tuned in, when my daughter was little, I mean, she's now 30, but she had a snail crawling up her belly. I thought it was really cool because she had this sparkly line going up her belly where the snail had climbed. So many people in there this evening. Hillary's saying the fox should be called Holly. Holly the fox. Lillian says there are facial beauty products derived from giant African snail slime. Yes, I've heard about that before. Yes,
yeah, me too.
And hands up if you put it on your face. Don't all rush at once. And Lynn is saying, thanks, Sheena, it's beautiful. So thank you for the stamps.
Thank you.
Right, let's get back over to Sheena, because we only have 11, about around like 11 minutes left to go.
Where does it go, Debbie? Where does it go? Right, so we've got the stencil. So we're going to use the stencil with the dots on one side and the swirls on the other. And I'm going to, now, there's two things you can do. You can go straight in with your whatever blending tool you like, and then go ahead and stencil like that. If you want the colour to be paler, you can pop a little bit of glycerin onto your mat. Once you've, and then pick up the colour and then pick up the glycerin onto the tool, and then you're going to get a lighter version. But I think we're probably going to do this, quite a bit of colour on this one. So I've gone full on, quite intense colour here. And we may not get both the circle and the panel done, but let's concentrate on one and then let you see what it looks like. Yeah?
Yes.
Because it's the same, because I've got a circle centre and I've got the panel. But this is going to be the same process, same colours on both. If we get time, we'll do both. But let's finish this one and then see where we get to. So we've got the swirl done like that.
Love that.
Like
Looks
that.
so nice.
And then, so that's the one part of that done.
Wow.
It's cool, isn't it?
It is so cool. I think this might be, everything's my new favourite, but I think this might be my new favourite. I just love it. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, yes, I've just been reminded.
Nice one.
I've just got to decide which one to use now.
Sorry?
I just got to work out which one I'm going to use. I do love the snail, but I'm actually thinking I might do the mouse.
The mouse,
I do
it's
love
cute,
the
the mouse,
field
isn't
mouse,
it? Yeah.
I'm going to have a play with them and see which one I like the most doing.
You know
or
what?
actually, I'm going to be honest, see which one comes out the better for me. Because I'm no Sheena.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you know, I've asked so many people today, which one do you think's the nicest? Because if I only get one done, which one do you like best? Everybody said a different card. Everybody said a different one.
Funny, isn't it?
The snail was popular with just about everybody. He was the common denominator, was Brian. He's a bit rock and roll as Brian.
Oh, he absolutely is.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've managed to get him done in the day.
Yeah. So I've got that green background there, but then we can put some of the darker blue in there. Let's put some darker blue spots over the top. Let's go with that and get some kind of impact going with that. So let's do some midnight with that. You know what? There's basically, I'm not even following, I mean, Debbie's is gorgeous. I'm using basic same colour scheme, but all I'm doing is just having fun and playing. And that's what I would say do, because you know, if you discover more if you just let yourself have a play. Yes, of course. Oh, I've moved that. Bear with. That's where you know, if you use a little bit of stick and spray or whatever, it just makes it easier for you. Let me just try and... We may have like bit like me astigmatism. These may be more the shape of my eyeballs by the time I'm finished. Might not be exact circles, but they're close enough.
Oh, look at that.
But
That's
it's quite
amazing.
cool, isn't it? That kind of, whoa.
It's very cool.
And
I
then
love
if
that.
we use that same colour around the outside, it'll just take that down a little bit and focus your eye more to the centre.
Nice. Love
And
that.
this is again is where, if you haven't got any water reactors yet, you know, get the darker colours to start with. You definitely get one of the blacks, because the black you will use time and time again. And the black, you saw what the impact was with the snail, how much impact it gave you with the flowers on Brian, and also the little ripply bits. Yep. So definitely, you know, go for the black. If you haven't got that. And if you haven't used the water reactors, if you've used similar ink pads in the past, I've got to say, you'll love them. They're brilliant ink pads. They're my go-to. I keep coming back to them. So even when I'm using pencils, I still come back to these guys to play with. So can you see how that is? Let me, how much time have we got?
Just over 5 minutes.
So we'll not get this finished, because the idea was that was going to sit on there with similar colours, yeah? Yep. And then this is the little hoop bit in the middle, which would sit over like that, yeah? Brian, in all his glory, will put a bit of sparkle on him and said it would sit like this. But you know what? I even think the white background looks quite cool, don't you?
It does look really cool. I love it.
You know, you could do a paler version of that background behind him. Oh, Debbie, I'm doing it. Stop me. I'm doing it, Debbie. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the dots, I think. Let's do them paler. Absolutely. So if you want to do them paler and you want the same blue, either use less on your ink pad. So I haven't re-inked it. And I'm just going through, I'm trying to avoid the swirls. So just that there. So this is what I was saying as well. If you want inspiration, remember there's the inkettes, Sheena's inkettes. Yeah. So if you join the inkettes, you will see all of these samples there. But you know, it doesn't have to be, they can be a starter. It'd be like getting the ball rolling. And then you tweak them and you change them up a bit. Yes. And the team love that. If you want to know how they're done, they love to tell you. They're like that. Yes. So let me see what we've got. We've got that there. Imagine that's going to be there like this. This is going to sit there now like that. So nice. I love that. He's going to sit there, but we're going to put a bit of slime on it. And then you've got your little so good. Your greetings. Now, we haven't coloured the flowers, but we'll probably not get a chance. But it gives you the idea of how quickly you can put this together. But I
Oh,
like that. You see,
Sheena.
so you've got Debbie's card there, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
But you can adapt it and change it and go, okay,
I
I've
quite
got
like that white background.
I quite like that lighter
Yeah.
background. Yeah, it's cool. Shall we try a bit of sparkle on them?
Yeah, I'm actually thinking, and I think someone else has mentioned it as well, the glossy highlights along the bottom of the snail
That
as
would
well.
look cool
Or
as
your
well.
whole snail with glossy
Absolutely.
highlights on would look really cool as well. It's absolutely beautiful, just an amazing one. Oh, we're going sparkly.
We are.
Yeah,
And I think even on him, as well as the bit underneath him, I think looks pretty cool. So I've put a bit of bling on him, because they do have a bit of bling, yeah. And let's dry him super quickly, because you don't see the sparkle until he's dry. And then we'll have a look again on the overhead, shall we?
Oh, it looks incredible.
Right, hopefully, let me give that a little dance on the camera for you, so you can see the bling.
Oh, yes, look at that.
Cool?
It's so cool.
Right, let's have a look. So this is basically now, we're just improving it all the time. We're tweaking it and we're going for it, Debbie. And then, come on then, star of the show. Ba, ba, ba.
Yay.
It's all about
I mean,
the
obviously, you
snail.
wouldn't move that fast, but I like your style.
There you go.
How absolutely beautiful is that, Sheena? Thank you so much. Roseanne is actually saying it's very Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, right, cool,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
I think maybe the stencils, definitely. Sherry's saying that you can make the swells look like fiddlehead ferns in green.
Yes, they
and
could
that
look
the
like ferns.
circle stencil could be used also with the white bokeh technique.
And if you use water with it or a baby wipe and faux bleach them
Faux
out,
bleach, yes.
You get the
Love
highlights,
that,
yeah.
So many
Absolutely.
things that you
Bubbles.
can do with them. Sheena, thank you for such a fantastic day. Are you back with us next week?
I am next Wednesday. Hey, it's been a little bit of a
fabulous.
drought for me, but I'm back 3 weeks in a row. Hey, you've been warned.
Yes, and I will see you the week after that because you've got me all day
Yay,
on that one as
fantastic.
well. So so you'll probably have Ben. Oh, you have Ben next week, and then
Yeah.
me the following week. Someone's just asked when my craft along is. It's on the 23rd. So 23rd at 1 o'clock. No, it's not. 23rd at 5 o'clock. 23rd at 5 o'clock of this month, then we're going to have that. So it's going to be a fab one. I'm going to have a play with it and see what I can come up with, which is going to be fabulous. Sheena, for now, thank you very much for sorting everything out.
Cheers,
so
lovely. Have a
we're going
lovely
to say
day.
goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Yes, amazing. And thank you to everyone for joining in today, because it's been a fantastic day, right from our craft, our Love Your Craft, with all our Valentine make. If you haven't seen it, go back and watch the show earlier, because it was absolutely amazing. Lots of things in that show, including home decor pieces. I made as well a heart pom-pom. So, and there's cards, Valentine's card. Ben made a heart pom-pom. We had lots of people in crafting with us this morning, so that was amazing. If you do want to grab this collection, remember to grab it now, because it is flying out the door. It is absolutely beautiful. But please go for that Showstopper, because just for that extra £5 or $15, you're actually getting your pencils and you're getting your cardstock. But for now, you're going to still be joining me tomorrow. I'm going to be back over across the studio. We're actually going to be showing you some sneak peeks tomorrow. We've actually got our first look at some amazing dies and some amazing little kit that I'm going to just tease you with there. But you will find us over on YouTube, so make sure you grab all those shawls, because we're 24/7, so don't forget. But thank you very much, and bye for now.